We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
Can you still hear us?
Yes.
I can.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's no problem. Computers work great until I decide not to.
I mean, everything was fine Friday night. I don't understand what happened between then and now.
Well, you didn't need it to work then. Now you need it to work. That is usually how my PCs do me.
All right.
All right, are we ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Sean, are you still with us?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm here.
All righty. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. How many of you have played Icons before?
Not me. We've used similar systems, but not Icons itself.
Okay. You've used Fate
Yes, sir.
or Fudge? Okay. Yeah, it will not be a hard transition then. This is not a terribly difficult system. Let me bring up the right rule book. All right, we're going to be using the base character creation out of the main book. As we progress and you begin, upgrading your character, I'll bring in some of the knacks and some of the other things from Icons A to Z or the Ultimate Power book. So the first step in character creation is, where did I put the chart? Determining your origin.
Could you open it a second? Yes, maybe. Maybe.
All right, does everybody see that?
Yes, I see
Yes.
it.
All right. There's going to be lots of questions like that because I have played on Roll20 quite a bit, but I've never run anything on it.
Should we just roll 2d6 and pick one, or just select one, or?
All right. Roll 2d6.
Hey, I need actual dice.
No, there should be a dice roller. Oh, over here on the left, you should have this little bar that runs down.
Yep.
This has got like a pointer and a square. If you click the dice, it brings up the dice roller. And it will roll the dice in the chat where everybody can see it. So I just rolled 2. I got an 8.
Let me show you. See the little dice right up here? It's been a really long time since I've done this. We haven't used Roll20 for anything other than maps. Yeah, feel like that. Awesome.
Alrighty.
So
what we've got here.
Change it to 6.
I should have grabbed a scrap paper.
No, in the Dropbox here.
Just one second. I got to grab some paper. I wanted to jot down what y'all were getting as it was coming up.
What comes first to roll for me? Really, you get the good rolls. Well, you can take whatever number you wish here.
All right. So Sean, you got a 5.
So that's transformed.
That's transformed. Think Hulk, Spider-Man, anybody
Right.
you know, accidents,
Right.
intentional
Started out human.
And
super
you got
soldier
the heroes that
programs.
kind of fall into both categories, like Daredevil.
You have a lot of
Transforms,
heroes.
but also training.
You have a lot of heroes
Yeah.
that can kind of fit into multiple origins. You know, Thor could be
Yeah.
birthright. He could be unearthly.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
All right, let's see. All right, so Sean got a 5. Todd is also transformed.
Woohoo! I'm a freak.
Yes, you
That would
are.
be the X-Men.
Mutants would actually fall under birthright, generally speaking.
Oh, okay.
Anna got a 6. She's also transformed.
So maybe we'll be the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, wait, I forgot.
Zach forgot to put that he was rolling 2d6. So he
Oh, oh,
rolled
oh,
twice.
oh. Okay, hang on then. We will scratch that. Okay, so the first roll does not count.
1 second. So roll another 2d6.
Yes.
Okay.
And with you guys, since y'all are using the same account, be sure to tell me who is rolling.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But,
I was letting her go first, so.
All right, so she got the. Oh, so she got the 10 and you got the 7.
Yes, sir.
All right, and she is unearthly. And you are birthright. Which means you could be a mutant, you could be an alien.
Oh, did you say 10 and 7? Because
Yeah,
10's
I hit
artificial.
10.
Where's. Oh, I'm sorry. You are absolutely
Yeah,
right.
I'm sorry.
I looked at
We
the
were rolling too
wrong
much.
something. And artificial would be guys like the Vision or Adam Warlock or.
Where you can edit the PDF.
All right, so we will start with. All right, so we've got 2 transforms. So let me read off what transform gives you. The hero was a normal human, but became superhuman through some outside agency, often an accident or experiment. One of the character's abilities of your choice, attribute or power, is increased by +2 to a maximum of 10. So when we're done rolling everything up, you can basically pick one of your stats or one of your powers and bump it up by 2 ranks.
Sweet.
There's a lot of the dice rolling and random character creation to icons, but then there's also a lot of things that you can go back and modify. You know, your origins all give you something. When you're finished rolling your attributes, you can swap any 2 of them. So if you were planning on building a brick, but you wound up with super intelligence, well, you could swap that over. All right. Birthright. All right, the Birthright hero was born or destined to develop superhuman powers. The character gains your choice of 1 additional power, which should be innate and not a device, or +2 to a rolled power level of your choice to a maximum of 10. And then artificial characters. The character is a robot or some kind of construct, such as Gollum. The character's strength is increased by 2, and they have the life support power in addition to any rolled powers. Roll life support level normally, or trade a rolled power and increase it to 10.
Alright, we're having a little bit of difficulty. I think you got birthright and I got transformed, correct?
Let's see, I've got you written down as who rolled the 10 artificial.
1 second, we're having dogs roll around on us. I need to get them out of here. God damn it. Put them all in the box.
That's why dogs are outside things. Them and children. All right, so that's all we did of the origins chart. And now we need level determination.
I had work right. Okay. We're back. Again, we're sorry. This won't happen again.
Like I said, I was expecting all kinds of hiccups today, so.
No, it would be nice if they weren't all from us.
Well, I'm just glad it's not me. All right, so everybody should have.
I have the artificial roll or the unearthly roll.
Anna has artificial.
Ah.
I looked at the chart wrong. And Zach has birthright.
Okay.
All right, everybody should have access in their journal to a character sheet that I think I've got your name. I think I've got each one labeled with your name. So click on that and bring it up.
Nice. All right. All right. Is there any way to give Anna access to my character sheet?
I think I've already set that up. See if she can open it. Or is it not showing up in her journal?
It's not showing up in her journal.
All right, let me go and edit that then. Oh, okay. I gave her control. All right, how about now?
Does anyone else hear a
Is everybody
beeping?
else getting that feedback? Yeah, I was just about to say that.
I'm getting just a little bit of
Every now and
static.
then
Someone have like a
it'll
cell
loud.
phone or something near their headset?
Mine's here next to me. Let me go chunk it over here on the kitchen table.
Yeah, I had to chunk mine across the room. Yes! Problems that aren't our fault! That's yet to be seen, Zach.
Unless y'all are a jinx. All right. Is Zach's sheet showing up now?
Yep, thank you.
All righty.
Oh, it's just a nice little easy drop down.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know who made the sheet, but God bless them. All right, up at the top where it says name, determination, origin, stamina. If you click on the origin, there is a drop down where you can pick, which one you got. Then we will move over to the attributes. There is a chart for the attributes, and that would be the one chart that I forgot to put in here ahead of time. Let's see, what page is that on? 57. All right, everybody, we will start with prowess. It's over here under your attributes. You got prowess, coordination, strength, intellect, awareness, and willpower.
Oh, okay.
If you ever played the old TSR Marvel game, you'll probably see some similarities to how the stats are set up. Icons is basically a love song to the old TSR game. All right, so for prowess, everybody needs to give me a 2d6 roll.
Okay, Zach's going first.
Okay.
It was open, Zach.
That's 1d6, Zach.
See, that's just,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think.
Yeah, the little
Actually,
button
just-
next to the attribute only rolls 1d6.
Yep.
Oh, if you. Oh, I wasn't even thinking about using.
Yeah, I may have screwed up. I screwed up and did that.
Yeah, I would go ahead and use the die roller,
Yeah.
where you can set it up for. What the one next to the attribute is, when you're doing like checks with your attribute, you will roll the dice and it adds the attribute.
Okay.
So once you've inputted your attribute, it'll roll a d6 plus your attribute. You know, when you hit the one next to the attribute.
Gotcha.
All right.
Run that by me again.
All right. When you like, if your prowess turns out to be level 2, once you put 2 in the prowess box, then if you hit the dice button next to it,
Okay, so this
the
one
sheet
first.
will roll 1d6 plus 2.
How is that possible? How did it get 11 plus 3?
That is
Oh, it rolled 2. Well, no.
Let's see. Over in your dice roller, under where it says advanced roll, underneath that you'll see an option for exploding.
Oh yeah.
Make sure it's
it was
clicked.
on compounded somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, I put it
Make
on
sure it's
none.
clicked on none. Okay.
Okay. This is Zach again.
Okay.
10 for prowess.
Nice.
All right. So let's see. All right, Sean, you got a 7. You rolled a 7, which comes out to level 5. Zach rolled a 10, which comes out to level 6. Anna rolled an 8, which comes out to level 5. Todd, have you rolled 2d6 or did I miss it?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
3. So Todd, you got a level 2. Okay. And once everybody has got that, we will move on to coordination, and it's the same thing. The
This
level.
first one's Zach,
Okay.
and the next one's mine.
Because for attributes for the power levels later on, we'll be rolling this chart a good bit.
When I roll the dice, I'm not seeing where.
It comes up over in
I
the
don't
chat
see
window.
where my result. Oh, okay.
Click the speech bubbles if you're still in your journal.
Yeah.
You can also roll the dice by just typing /roll 2d6 in the chat window.
Oh, neat.
Nice.
All right, so let's see. Sean rolled first. He got an 11. That gives him a level 7. And the first roll was for whom?
Myself, Zach.
Okay. So a 5 gives you a level 4.
Nice.
That means Anna got the 9, which is a level 6.
Yay.
Todd got an 8, which is a level 5. And then once all that's inputted, we'll move down to strength and do it again.
First one is Zach. Next one's mine.
All right, both of y'all got a 4.
Nice.
Ah, that's
Todd, you also got a 4. And Sean? Got a 9. That will be a 6. Okay, then next up is intellect.
First roll is mine.
That gives you... All right, then Zach, you got
Roll on
a
the slow end.
Zach, you got a 7.
Nice.
Anna, you got a, let's see, you rolled a 4, so you got a level 3. Sean, a 7 gives you a level 5. Todd, are you still there? Your window went blank.
Hmm.
Well, we seem to have lost Todd. Oh, hang on just a second. My phone's ringing. That is probably him. I'll be right back. All right, go up to the little gear. Oh, your computer is locked up.
Oh. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess reboot and try to get back on when you can.
Yeah, I left it the other way. Just in the room. Yeah.
Sometimes you hold the button down long enough, it'll eventually do it. Or if John's home, you get turned off. Okay. Okay. Later. His computer locked up. He's trying to get back on. We'll keep going and he can catch up.
Yeah. That's rough.
But look at the bright side. It's not just y'all having technical issues.
Yay, I guess. Well, I guess I shouldn't celebrate.
Yeah.
But misery loves company.
Hmm.
All right, let's see. Sean gave me a 7. I think I'd given him what his was. All right, so on to awareness.
Zach is first. I'm next. Oh my god. Oof.
I think you need to go first one of these times.
Possibly.
All right, Sean, a 10 gives you a level 6. Zach, a 7 gives you a level 5. Anna, a 2 gives you a level 1.
I think being artificial lets you play around with your attributes a little bit.
Yes. There's various ways to modify that.
I know Birthright gets me a free power of my choice.
Yeah, you can choose to roll an extra power, or what was it? You gain your choice of either one additional power, Or you can bump up a power by 2 levels.
So do I have to roll for that extra power, or like just pick it out and grab back?
You roll it, but with all powers, you can always sack a power to take an extra on another one.
I see.
So if you get 2 or 3 powers that kind of fit together, and you've got a concept, and then you get something, you've got a bunch of fire powers, and you get your water breathing. You can sack the water breathing and take an extra on one of your fire powers.
I see what you mean. Okay. Are we coming in clearly?
Yes, for the most part.
Okay.
There's a little static every now and then, but I don't know whose side that's coming from. So. All right, so that is everybody's awareness. On to willpower, which is the last one.
Zach is first again.
Okay. 8 will get you a level 5. And 5 will get you a level 4. For both of you that got 5s.
That's cool. Didn't you have a copy of the rulebook open?
I did at one point. It might be up here where we can't see it.
Now, like I mentioned before, you can swap any 2 attributes. And you can do that now. You can wait till later on in character creation. To see what powers you roll, to see kind of what you decide you want your guy to be.
Hey, Steph, can you do me a favor? Call my mom and see what she wanted.
All right, the next up is powers.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, we accidentally closed out of the.
I was messing with the screen resolution to try to fit both of our sheets on there, and yeah, I couldn't see any of the stuff up top.
Now, if you hit the little, like up next to Zach's name on his, you got the square with the 2 little squares in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you hit that, it becomes like a separate window.
Oh, and it gets tabs.
Oh,
Yes.
Nice.
Convenient.
See, Roll20 doesn't hate you. Roll20 loves you.
It
All right,
tries.
did that work?
Hey, you're back.
Yeah.
All right, which attribute did we get to on you?
I didn't save the last one.
I think it was. Let's see.
All right, from what I can see on your sheet, you got your coordination put in. Did you roll for your strength?
I thought I had. I thought strength was the last one I'd done.
All right, let's see, where is your last
If I get
roll?
the character sheet to pull back up.
All right, your last roll was a 6. So it gives you a strength of 4. Did you get your sheet up?
Yeah, it's up. Okay.
All right, so a strength of 4. Then we give you 2d6 for your intellect. That's a 1d20.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, if you had to restart the program, you probably have to go put your
Yep.
dice roll
Put
back
all
in
this back in.
there. Okay, so a 4 gives you a rank of 3. Give me 2d6 for awareness. An 11 gives you a rank of 7. So you are very aware of your surroundings.
Yeah. It's sounding whack.
Well, like I said, you can swap an attribute later. So
He's feeling very shield agent.
you've got a 4, 5, and a 7 now. Yeah, your stats are not sucking.
Then you feel very super fast fighting shield agent.
All right, give me 2d6 for willpower. You have a willpower of 8. That's a pretty good stat block.
Was that it?
Yeah, your willpower. Put in the 8 for your willpower.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, it just took a second to show up on mine, I guess. All right. Now on to, let me find a handout. All right, everybody see the new chart come up?
Yeah.
All right, so everybody give me a 2d6 roll, and this will determine
First
the
one,
number
Ennis?
of powers you
Yeah, Zach, don't cut him off.
Sorry.
get. No problem. All right, Sean, you've got 4 powers.
You got
And
3?
this one's Zach.
All right, Zach's
He
got 3.
sabotaged me.
Oh my god. Love you.
All right, so Sean has got 4. Todd has got 3. Zach has got 3.
I have a 4. I let her roll first just because it seemed like our first roll was always higher.
Oh, gotcha. So that means you got the number 8, so you got 4.
Yes, sir.
Where did I put that?
All right.
Just gonna keep it in mind here.
All right, now I closed the number of powers chart. Did it close on y'all's windows, or is it still up?
It's
It's
still.
gone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it stayed up on y'all's until you closed it, or if me closing it would get rid of it. All right. Now we roll for your power type for your first power. Basically, it picks a category, mental, control, defense, offense, whatever.
Okay. This one's Zach, and this one's me.
All right. All right, see, so Sean rolled a 7. All right, so your first power is going to be off the offensive list. Let's see, so he got an offensive. Let's see, and Zach was rolling first this time?
Yes, sir. So I
All
got
right,
a movement.
so you got a movement power, and I got a mental power, and Todd got a control power. Okay. So we will start off with Sean's offensive power. All right, Sean, roll me 1d6.
Alrighty. Alrighty, give me a second to get back to the chat box. There we go.
All right, so that's the bottom group. Give me another D6. 4. You have got an energy drain. And once we roll them all up, we'll go back and read over the power descriptions.
Sounds good.
Let's see. And on the character sheet, if you hit add, you should get like a little bar you can type in to type out, what you got.
Would that be under qualities or powers?
This would go under powers.
Okay, because on powers, if I hit modify, I don't really see.
Over opposite of modify, there's one that says add.
Oh, okay, I see it. Thanks.
No problem. Alright, let's see. So Sean had gotten offense. Zach had gotten movement. Alright, Zach, give me a 1d6 roll and another 1d6 roll.
A 1d6 roll and then another 1d6 roll?
Right.
Right.
I thought it was just
Alright, so that's the bottom. That's the bottom chart. And number 4, swinging.
Neat.
Which, that could be Spider-Man's webs, Batman's grapple gun. You could sprout tendrils in the back of your hands,
And
It can be
that'd be jot that down under qualities? Or
No, you should.
A way to add it to the power section.
There is a add button. You got powers, and right under the bar that says powers, you got rank.
Rank?
Powers, extra limits. Under rank is the add button.
the only category without an add button. It has a done.
That's very strange.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
We clicked the
okay.
done and the ad came back.
All right. We're dumb. Thank you.
No problem. Let's see. What kind of power did Anna get?
Mental.
Oh, yes. All right. So you would give me a 1d6 and a 1d6?
5 and 5.
All right, so that is the bottom one. 5, telepathy.
Nice.
A classic comic book power. And then Todd got...
I rolled it. Well, I've got a control power, but I haven't
Control,
rolled anything
okay.
yet.
Well, I just need to remember which chart to bring up. All right, control.
I clicked it by accident.
Smeg. Ready to go. All right, show the player, show the players. All right, Todd, give me a 1d6 roll. And another 1d6 roll. All right, so that drops you down to the bottom chart. And number 4, you have magic.
Woohoo!
Not quite the cosmic power I always wanted, but it was...
Regardless of the name, you can pretty much describe your power however you want to. For example, there's a villain that I rolled up randomly for use in this campaign that he got cosmic power, but I gave everything he does a shadow motif, so he's really manipulating, dark forests like some of the Marvel characters or whatever, or the Shade from DC.
All right, where do I put? How can I put that on there?
All right, you got your character sheet up?
Yeah.
You see the bar that says powers?
Mhm.
Underneath that is a word rank, and underneath the rank is the button add.
And it just added two. I clicked it, and it added two different somethings. But okay.
Yeah, you have to type in the name of the power and the rank and all. And then I think you have to click done after that.
Magic.
So how do we get the rank again?
Let me see. Oh, the rank will be, we'll go and that chart we rolled on for the attributes, we'll go back and roll for that on that chart to
Okay,
get the
so
rank.
we roll for rank later. Okay.
Right. I was going to get everybody's first power down, and then we'd go back and roll for the ranks of them.
Okay, cool.
Okay, did that come up right?
Let me pull your sheet up again. Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty. Alright, let's get back over here to the level determination. We'll see how stout those individual powers are. So everybody give me a 2d6 roll.
This is Zach, and this is me.
Alright, Zach's power came in at level 6. Anna's power came in at level 5. Todd's power came in at level 4. And Sean's came in at level 5. Alright, if everybody's got that in, we will determine the level of this power. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, that wasn't the level.
Yes, it was. I jumped back a step. I got fiddling on the computer and. All right, so now we're back to the power type. That's what we need now to roll up for the next power. All right, did the chart come up for everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The power type chart.
Yes. All right, so everybody give me another roll for that.
Yeah, we're doing 2d6.
It's 2d6. That's what it
Okay.
says.
Yes, this one is this one is a 2d6 roll.
First one is mine, and the second one is Anna's.
Okay.
Oh, you get 12. I see how it is.
High or low isn't necessarily good or bad on this chart, though.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. I'm just giving him grief.
I love you still.
All right,
Did mine
so
come up? I got a thing full of windows now.
well, you can close most of them out if you need to. All right, so let's see. Starting at the. All right, so Zach got a sensory power. Todd got a movement power. Anna got a defensive power. And Sean got a sensory power. All right. We will do the folks with sensory powers first, since there's multiples of those. All right, the two of you get that sensory. The two of you that got sensory powers. Give me a D6 roll.
So,
6 and 1.
yep.
All right. And then give me. Oh well, you already. One of you already gave me 2. Sean, give me another D6. All right. So Zach got 6 is the bottom chart. And then he rolled a 1. Danger sense.
Oh, you're turning into
Oh my
Spider-Man.
God.
Nice.
Sean got a 1, which is the top chart, and a 6, which is super senses. I messed that chart up a little bit, didn't I? And super senses, I think, will turn out to be one that's got a lot of options, but we will get to that momentarily. All right, and what did I say you got, Todd?
Movement.
All right, let me bring up the movement power then. All right, give me a D6 roll and a D6 roll. Top chart, first power, burrowing.
Ugh.
You could be a geomancer, or you could sack that power and take an extra on your magic.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna sack that.
Gonna be a mole man.
Yeah,
A magical mole man.
I don't see that.
And let's see. And then what was the other one we got? I believe Anna got a defensive power.
2 and 2.
All right, 2 is the top one, and 2, absorption. So there will be some sort of energy or force that you can absorb and redirect in some fashion.
So absorption.
Mm-hmm.
Great. No, it doesn't.
Nice. You're right first time.
All right, and then we're back to the determination, or the level determination roll. So everybody give me a 2d6.
It's Zach and me.
All right, Zach's power rank came in at 5. Anna's also came in at 5.
Nice.
Sean's came in at 5. And Todd's came in at 5. And now we are back to power type. This is the third power. So a couple of y'all will be done with this phase after this.
Yeah, this is my last one.
All right, so everybody give me a 2d6.
First is mine. Second is Anna's.
Okay.
Ha! Finally.
Mine.
All right, so Zach got a mental.
Wait, where'd you see flight?
I
Oh,
was
you're
looking
looking
at
at
the
the
wrong
movement chart.
Right.
And Anna got a movement power. Sean got an alteration power. Let's see. And Todd, you rolled that 10?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got a long line of rolls. I'm losing track of who gets started sometimes. All right, and a 10 gives you an alteration power. So let's start off with the alteration. All right, Todd, give me a D6 and a D6. 1 and 4. 1 is the top ability. 4 is alternate form. See, now you can be a magical mole man that turns into a mole. See, the concept writes
Man.
itself. Or with a baseline power like magic, you could be sacking all these
Yeah.
for. Because extras, you can. It could be an extra that boosts some aspect of the power, or alters the power in some way, or it can be basically an alternate power that functions at that same power rank.
Well, the trick is, I know how I can make this work. I just don't know if I want to do it.
Okay, so that was your alteration. And then Sean, what was that I said you had?
Alteration. So
Oh, did you have the alteration? I thought.
Two of us had alteration.
Oh, okay,
yeah, we
okay,
both
okay,
had it.
okay.
I thought that's why you were starting with it.
All right, in that case, what did Sean? 5 is the bottom chart, and give me another roll there, Sean. Also a 5, so 5 and 5. Stretching.
Stretching. We'll see how that fits in.
Yeah, on the old Marvel game that this is a shout out to. Oh, you could wind up with some bizarre combinations. Though, but with its rules, you were pretty much stuck with them. I think that's why he included the whole sacking it for an extra in this one. All right, and Zach, what did you have?
I had a mental power, and Anna had a movement.
Do we not roll for you?
Hold on a second, Jason. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of alteration did I have?
The alternate form.
Alternate form. Okay.
Did we not roll for your movement power yet, Zach?
We haven't moved for either of us. Rolled for either of us. So I guess I'll go and do that.
All right, so this is for your mental power. 3 is the top chart, and 5 is illusion.
Interesting.
And then Anna had a movement, didn't she?
1 and a 5.
Top chart, 5, leaping. All right. Now we will roll for the power rank. So everybody give me a 2d6 this time.
First is mine, second is Anna's.
All right, so the Zach's is a level 5. Anna's is a level 5. Todd's is a level 5. And Sean's a level 6. And in case I didn't mention it before, everything pretty much runs on a 1 to 10 scale. Which is why any of you whose origins boost things, it maxes out at level 10.
Let me guess. Prowess is your fighting.
Yes. If you're going with the old Marvel setup, yeah, prowess is your fighting.
Yep.
You know, coordination is basically your agility. In the old game. Yeah. I think they're pretty much in the same order. All right, so 2 of you had 4 powers. So Zach and Sean, give me another roll on the power type.
7.
All right.
Okay.
Sean, you got a control power. And Zach, you got an offensive power. All right, so Sean, give me a 1d6 and a 1d6. All right, so 5 is the bottom chart, and 3 is gadgets. And then Zach, you got what, a control power, was it?
Offensive.
No, you got offensive, that's right. All right. So a 6 and a 5, that's the bottom chart, and you got fast attack. Fast attack will basically, depending on what the rank is, will give you extra attacks in a round.
And roll for level.
Roll for level. That's a rank 5 for you. And a rank 3 for Sean. All right. Next up is specialties, which are basically your skills. The way skills function, or the way specialties function, each rank in it, up to 3, gives you a bump to whatever stat you're rolling for whatever the skill would affect. So you got martial arts. If you had a prowess of 4 and 1 rank in martial arts, instead of having a +4 to the dice, you have a +5 to the dice roll when you make attacks and so forth. So everybody, give me a 2d6 for the number of specialties you have.
This is Zach, and this is me.
All right, so Zach got a. Zach has 1 specialty. Todd has 2 specialties. Anna has 3 specialties. And Sean has 2 specialties. Let's see, list of specialties. And I've just put up the list of specialties. And the specialties have a random chart, but the baseline rule is you pick your skills. And you can pick them right now. We can come back. You can come back later and do that once you've got the rest of the character kind of hashed out.
Okay.
And if you see if there's a skill you want that you don't see anything on here that looks like it would really fit that, it's really easy to create one. We just kind of have to define what roles the skill would affect. But most of your basic stuff's going to be under here. If you wind up with an energy blast and you want to be better at it, you take the power skill. Most of the rest of mental resistance basically boosts your will to overcome mental powers. It's like the training the X-Men have. In the comics, the professor has trained them all to resist, mental domination and so forth.
I know I want a colt.
And then
Yeah.
Edie, what do you suggest?
You'd probably need a cult and some sort of earth science, obviously. With the burrowing and all.
Science?
Would she be under stealth too?
Yeah. With GM permission, I'd like to go ahead and trade in illusion for an extra and roll my bonus power for being a birthright.
Okay, that would be fine.
All right, thank you.
Let's see. Power type.
Yeah. 2d6 to determine power type, yes?
Correct. An 8, so you have a movement power.
Alright.
And then a 1 and a 2. Dimensional travel.
Nice.
All right. Did we have any other birthright? No, we had 2 transforms.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back to what the transform gave you. All right. Transformed heroes through accident or agency, often accident or experiment. All right. One of the character's abilities of your choice, this can be an attribute or a power, is increased by +2. Can't go any higher than 10. And that would be Todd, Sean that are transformed. So you have the option of bumping up basically anything you've got by 2.
Basically, I can bump up one of my attributes by 2.
Or one of your powers.
I think I'll bump my prowess by 2.
Okay. And don't forget that you can also swap 2 attributes at this point.
Well, I can.
Yes. Everybody can do that. That's baseline.
I would like to boost mine. Jeez.
Well, you're gonna get a +2 just because to your strength, just because you're
I'm more
artificial.
worried about my awareness.
And if you're worried about your awareness, you could swap it out for something else. You know, you basically have to decide what your dump stat's going to be.
Hmm.
I'm so middle of the road. I could see this dude being a brick, but I ain't particularly strong, and I can't fight for crap.
All right, where's Todd at? All right.
I got an iron will, and I notice everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Basically, keeping the sounds just like
Uh.
And I can't think of anything to switch it with.
Not particularly smart. He's not particularly strong.
Well, let's see. If you swapped your, you could swap your strength and your willpower. That would make you freakishly strong. Then you could use your transform to bump your prowess by 2. That gives you a 4. That's a reasonable.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
That's a reasonable
And then you could
fighter.
take martial arts or something for your
Yeah, that is
specialties.
right.
How many specialties did you wind up with?
2.
So you could take if you took
I'd taken a cult.
Type in life support.
then if you took
Ooh,
martial
I know
arts,
it.
that'd give you a 5 on your attacks. That's not
I
bad.
could take.
I'm still gonna do life support.
Basically, you were saying switch the
Roll.
go power with the strength.
Yeah, if you want to play a brick, yeah, that's the route to go.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to roll a rank for my life support power.
Oh yes.
It's a 1 or 2. It's 2, isn't it? 2d6.
Yes, yes. Let me close out some of these windows I got to see. Don't need the movement power. All right, you got a 6. So your life support is level 4.
And I need to roll for dimensional travel too.
Oh yes. Now keep in mind, as artificial, you could choose to sack one of your other powers and make your life support level 10.
I'd honestly drop telepathy, just to basically make yourself short of immortal.
Yeah, the 10 at 10 life support, you don't have to eat, breathe, sleep. I don't think pressure bothers you. We'll look it up here in a minute,
Yes, you can do like pretty much anything.
Drop-
Float around in space if you want.
but you know,
Oh, it doesn't do.
where with 4 ranks, you'd have to, I think, pick and choose
That-
what does and doesn't bother you.
It doesn't go up to 10.
It goes up to 9. I think. No.
Oh, okay, you just can't see the 10.
Okay. Listen. 10. There we go.
Yeah, you can change the size of the character sheet sometimes to make things a little more visible.
Didn't you have a specialty called mental resistance?
You did.
Yep.
And what does a 5 get me for life support? Or for dimensional travel?
5 gets you a level 4.
Ah, thank you.
If I dump the magic, do I get anything? Or am I, or is what does magic give me other than
Hang on just a second, and I'll start reading off the descriptions.
okay?
I just realized somebody was asking me a question here on Twitch.
Looking for the list of power definitions. Did I pass it?
It's way down there. Oh, there we go.
Alright. Power descriptions. Alright, let's start off with Sean. What powers did you have, Sean?
I had energy drain, super senses, stretching, and gadgets. Trying to decide which ones to keep.
Also, keep in mind, any of your powers, except for the extra one rolled by birthrights, you can choose to make those devices if you wanted to, if that fits the concept better.
I mean, I'm thinking I'm going to be a scientist that somehow got accidentally mutated with some sort of animal gene that gave me the senses and the energy drain, maybe like a leech or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the stretching, although of course that's the one I rolled the highest on. So
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, let me read energy drain off to you. Energy drain saps a target's vital energy by touch. Make a prowess test to touch the target. If successful, test energy drain versus strength, basically, or will. It's an opposed roll. The target loses stamina equal to the outcome, and we'll get into how outcomes work, in a little bit. While you regain stamina equal to the outcome if you've lost any, with a maximum outcome equal to your power level. As an extra, you can gain an amount of stamina over your usual maximum equal to your energy drain level. This extra stamina fades at the rate of 1 point per minute. Stamina is basically your hit points.
In my opinion, you would want to keep the stretching with that power because that would basically make you rogue with reach.
That's a good
scary.
thought. That's true.
That's
Richards with Rogue.
Yeah. That's the parasite on Reed Richards. That's rough.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, let's see. And what was your next power? Oh, I'm sorry. You had a question.
I was just going to say, so then what do you basically have to like roll for the specifics within each power as far as like the super senses and such, or?
Let me flip over to super senses right quick. All right, super senses. All right, super senses. Super senses give you additional, enhanced, or extended sensory abilities. Each level in super sense grants you one of the following abilities. All right, additional. You have more than the 5 normal senses. Each level gives you a new sensory ability, such as infrared vision, microscopic vision, radar, or X-ray vision. In the enhanced category, each level adds a +1 bonus to awareness tests using a particular sense, much like a specialty. So enhanced vision, enhanced hearing, etc.
Okay.
The extended category, each level reduces the effective range to sense something by 1. For example, with one level of extended vision, you can see things at a visual range as if they were only at extended range. And I will get into the ranges, as we move on. But
Yeah, I can read up on that offline too. So you don't have to waste time on that.
okay. And you've got what? You had 4 ranks in that?
Let's see. Actually, I had 5. I had 5 on energy drain, 5 on super senses, 6 on stretching, and 3 on gadgets.
Okay.
Now the gadgets doesn't really fit. What if I just were to dump the gadgets? Can I trade that in for something else, or use
Let's
to
see.
boost one of the other categories?
All right, you could sack it and buy an extra on one of your other abilities.
Okay.
So, for example, if you could buy the extra on energy drain that lets you go above your max stamina. Instead of just healing yourself.
Right. I could actually gain
Yeah.
bonus. Okay. I think I would like to do that.
All right. Let me just give gadgets a glance and see what it says. Because that's one off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly what it does. It says gadgets can produce a wide range of devices, giving you various powers. Take a page of preparation and choose a power you wish to duplicate. Make an intellect test, including any appropriate specialty, against the desired power level as the difficulty. Let's see. As the desired power level is difficulty up to the maximum of your power level. Success gives you a gadget able to duplicate that power for the chapter. Failure means you have to make a determined effort to try again, which involves spending a determination point. You can also spend a determination point to produce the gadget automatically, rather than making a test. If you are deprived of all your equipment, your ability to use your gadgets may be limited. So it's basically an ability to cobble together what you need at the time.
Okay.
Batman's utility belt, if Tony Stark is in a lab, or
All
if
right,
you go this.
question.
Mm-hmm.
You said we could switch an ability.
You can switch
Or
an attribute.
2 abilities.
You can switch
2 attributes.
Yeah, it's 2 attributes.
Okay, so I'd like to switch my coordination. I have a coordination of 7 and a strength of 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to switch that to a 6 coordination and a 7 strength.
Okay.
Since
Now,
I think the strength is what I have to use for the energy drain, right?
No, it is your.
Well, prowess to hit, but then isn't it overcome?
No, you roll your energy drain. They roll their strength.
Oh, they roll their strength. Okay.
Right. Your strength is also kind of your stamina. It's really just kind of your physical ability. Period.
Your strength is your stamina also.
Well, not the.
Which attribute is hit points?
Hit points is strength and will. You add those together for your hit points.
Okay, then I'll still go ahead with that switch. 6 coordination, 7 strength. I need hit points because my will's terrible.
Now, anything above a 6 is considered superhuman.
Okay.
Which it affects how many determination points you'll start with. But those get awarded during play too, so.
Okay, so I guess the only things I have to figure out then is which super senses I want to take.
Mm-hmm. And you've got 5 ranks you can move around, so.
Yeah, so you can move on to
superhumanly aware.
Yeah. All right, then. Let's go to. Let's see, that was Sean. Anna.
Yes.
What were your abilities again?
Total life support, absorption, and leaping.
Okay, so you dropped the telepathy and boosted
life support.
The life support. Okay. All right, then let's look up life support. All right, life support. That you ignore physical needs and hazardous environments, including breathing, cold, disease, eating, heat, pressure, radiation, sleeping, toxins, and vacuum. Choose one need or environment you ignore per level. As an extra, you can increase your life support level to 10, gaining total life support and ignoring all physical needs. So basically, you could float in space. You could walk along deserts. They could drop you on Mercury. You get up and you'd walk around like normal.
Hmm.
And then your next one was
Absorption.
absorption up here at the very beginning. All right, absorption can absorb a particular type of attack, such as impact, a type of energy. See energy control for examples. Chosen when you acquire this power. Subtract your absorption level from the attack's level. If this reduces the attack's level to 0 or less, it has no effect. Any remaining levels of the attack affect you as normal. Apply any resistances you have to the remaining levels. Choose one of the following effects you can power with your absorbed energy. You can acquire others as an extra. So one of these you get for free, and then if you wanted to get an extra, you could take more. Ability boost. As a reaction, after absorbing damage, you can use the absorbed energy as an ability boost with a level equal to the level absorbed. So if somebody ran up and, like, say you absorb kinetic energy. So somebody runs up and punches you with a 4 strength. Yeah. Punches you with a 4 strength. You absorb that 4. You could boost your strength by 4. Or some other stat,
Honestly, I think kinetic would be a good check because that's going to be like baseball, everything from baseball bats to bullets.
Now, it's the ability boost. Another option is blast. On your next panel, after absorbing damage, you can unleash the absorbed energy as a blast with a level equal to the level absorbed. So he punches you, and then you basically blast him with kinetic energy. Or if you absorb fire, then you could then shoot flame at somebody. Healing. As a reaction, you can regain stamina, your hit points, equal to the absorbed level. And then as an extra, you could also take broad. Your absorption protects you against all physical or all energy.
I think I'm going to go with blast.
Okay. And then you could choose, choose what energy type you want.
Kinetic.
Okay. And then you had leaping.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sorry.
No problem. Just flipping through to find it. Leaping lets you jump across great distances from about a city block at leaping 1 to miles at leaping 10. Leaping 1 to 2 covers distance level 3 on the benchmark table, and every 2 additional leaping levels increases the distance by a level. So how many ranks of leaping did you have?
5.
Oh, that's actually the example it uses. Leaping 5 lets you cover about 10 city blocks, or a tall building with a single bound.
Awesome.
All right, that was all of your abilities. Todd, what did you have?
Magic, burrowing, and alternate form.
All right, let's look up magic. All right, magic allows you to cast spells duplicating the effects of other powers. Magic has the performance limit. See limits. It takes a page of preparation to cast a spell. Choose the power effect you wish to duplicate and make a test with a difficulty equal to the desired power level, up to your magic's power level. Choose the ability you use to make spellcasting tests when you acquire this power. Either your magic power level or an attribute, perhaps enhanced by a specialty, most often occult. Success on the spellcasting check grants you the power at that level. Failure means you must make a determined effort to try again. You can cast a spell automatically by spending a point of determination, no test required. As an extra, you can gain mastery of a particular spell and can cast it at your magic level without any preparation or spell casting test required. So it's kind of the magical version of gadgets to some degree.
Yeah. Yeah. I really don't need something like that.
You can always sack it.
What do you do? I do magic based on my strength.
Yeah, that would be very odd. You would need some explanation for that. On the other hand, magic is just the name of the power. You describe it any way you want to.
Yeah, I know.
So you could do hand claps, you could do thunder claps and foot stomps and all kinds of weird stuff using that setup.
If I sacked it, what could I get?
You could buy an extra for one of your other powers.
Let's see what the burrowing and alternate form are.
Okay.
Because I may end up putting an extra on alternate form.
I don't know, man. Put an extra on burrowing.
The burrowing, I know what to do with, if it's what I think it is.
Yeah, that scares me. All right, burrowing, oh no. Alternate form would come first because there's an alphabet. All right, alternate form. Alternate form transforms you into a form other than flesh and blood. It takes a page of preparation to change into your alternate form, but you can return to normal form instantly on your panel. Your panel being your turn.
Mm-hmm.
A page being basically everybody's turn, that round. Let's see, change back instantly on your panel. As an extra, you can assume your alternate form without preparation. While in your alternate form, you have full life support. And then your choices are energy form, explosive form, fluid form, gaseous form, shadow form, or solid form.
Energy form, but yeah. But
Any,
I probably would end up going earth, rock.
That would be solid. Each one gives you slightly different abilities. If you become energy, you gain flight at your power level. You're immune to physical attacks, but you have no strength and cannot touch or affect physical objects.
Yeah.
Attacks affecting your type of energy still affect you. You can acquire energy control of the same type as your form as an extra. Explosive form, you explode.
Yeah. You're nitro.
You reform. You reform on the next page. You can delay. As an extra, you can teleport. But yeah, you're essentially nitro.
What's solid?
All right. So you're gonna skip fluid, gaseous, and shadow.
Yeah.
All right. Solid. You transform into a dense, solid material like metal or stone. You gain strength equal to the greater of your power level or your normal strength +1. While in solid form, let's see, along with damage resistance equal to your power level. So what rank was your alternate form?
5.
So that would give you damage resistance 5. And it would make your strength 5, or if your strength is already higher than that, a +1.
Yeah, my strength's already an 8.
So that'd bump it up to a 9.
Yeah. So I would be freakishly strong.
Yeah. You're getting up top tier brick there.
Okay. Any extras I could throw on it? The extra was I could just do it automatically, right? Wasn't that one of them?
Yeah, that was one extra. And there is I believe there may be a list of generic extras somewhere. But and once we've gone through everybody's powers, I'll go into limits, because you can put a limit on a power to buy another extra. And once we have figured out your starting termination points, you can permanently lose a termination point to gain an extra as well.
What it looks like I'm gonna end up doing is sacking the magic and doing it where I can go alternate solid form, when I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's looking like I'm gonna end up
Okay.
doing.
And then you can decide if you turn into metal or stone
Well,
or truthfully,
as
you
long
don't.
as I go and say what you're gonna say.
And truthfully, you don't. It describes it that way, but it's only the mechanic that matters. So you could just as easily describe it as you go in Shazam.
Well,
Except that
if you
you're
go
already
as
super
long as I go,
strong.
yeah, as long as I go, stone or earth or something like that, yeah, then that makes the burrowing make sense because then I move like Swamp Thing does through earth.
That's true. Now let's look up burrowing. Burrowing allows you to tunnel beneath the ground at your normal speed, moving through any material equal to or less than your burrowing level. Tough materials roughly have your speed per level of difference. You can leave a tunnel behind as you burrow, allowing others to follow, or have it fill in behind you, preventing others from following you as you choose. And there is a benchmark table that tells you basically what each rank is, which would be, how fast you go.
Can you dump too? Well, no, second thought. No, I'd keep me a movement. Never mind.
Let me find the benchmark table. And what rank did you have burrowing at?
5.
Okay. You'll be about like Anna's leaping then. You can, it'll probably be a few city blocks and around.
Yeah, which would be nice.
Benchmarks.
You basically have a thing popping up all over the place. Yeah, I like that. That's sick.
All right, distance of 5, 10 to 20 blocks.
Yeah.
All right. And so that was all your powers?
Yeah.
All right, Zach, what was your powers?
Swinging, danger sense, dimensional travel, and fast attack.
Man, if you drop the dimension travel, you really would be Spider-Man. All right. Let me get back to power descriptions here.
I would keep the dimensional travel and tie myself to a Nancy. I'd be moving along the web.
Yeah, if you want to go mythological. Yeah. Okay, what was the first power?
That'd be all kind of weird.
All right, so what was the first power on your list?
Swinging.
Swinging. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. And there's a lot of S powers. All right, swing uses a line or cable. This might be a self-generated webbing, lines of force, or a device like a grapple gun or a lasso. Your swing lines have a material equal to your power level. As far as that's pretty rough. So if somebody trying to break it would have to beat it use their strength or whatever to beat it. Your swing lines, let's see, use the higher of your swinging and coordination levels for maneuvers while swinging. You can also use your swinging line to catch onto small things and pull them to you. With a successful coordination test, you may need a successful opposed strength versus strength roll to pull something away from someone. So, if you did the Spider-Man, I web the gun and yank it out of his hand, it'd be coordination to contact the gun, and then your strength versus his to yank it out of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had danger sense.
Yes, sir.
Danger sense is a special sixth sense for imminent danger. You can use your danger sense level as the ability for reactions to defending against attacks or other sudden dangers. You can use it to replace your awareness test to notice these dangers. If your danger sense level is lower than the associated ability, you get a +1 bonus to the test using the ability instead. So if somebody's trying to shoot you, if your dangerous
I'll have the headset.
is higher than your coordination, then you would roll your danger sense. If
Ah,
your coordination is higher, you would add 1 to your coordination.
I see.
And then you had dimensional travel.
Yes, sir.
Dimensional travel lets you move at will between dimensions. You may freely travel to any dimension you have previously visited, but visiting a new dimension requires a difficulty 3 dimensional travel test. A failure means either you don't go anywhere, and trying to reach that dimension requires a determined effort, or you have some trouble reaching the destination dimension, usually losing 1 page of action upon arrival, but the GM gets to choose. A success means you reach the dimension with no trouble. Dimension travel 8 or greater does not require a test. You automatically succeed. You can also take an extra to ignore this test, regardless of your power level.
So how would that work when moving, say, within the same dimension, like Earth's reality? Would that just be like a standard teleportation, or
Baseline dimension travel, I don't think lets you move around within the Earth dimension.
okay, so it's just from one reality to the other.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you wanted to take an extra, I would let you use it as teleportation with an extra.
I see. And next is fast attack.
Fast attack. Alright, fast attack allows you to attack more than once per action, dividing your fast attack level into additional attack tests, up to your level with the attack. If you use your extra attacks against the same opponent on the same page, treat it as a combined effort. See combined effort in the basics chapter. Alright, and what was your fast attack?
5.
Okay. So, let's see. And what is your prowess?
6.
Let's see. Fast attack level. Dividing your fast attack level into additional attack tests up to your level. Okay. Alright, so Speed Demon has prowess 4, fast attack 8. He makes 1 attack like everyone else, then uses fast attack levels for an additional level 8. Okay, with your stats, you would have 1 additional attack, basically, at full.
That makes sense.
And you can use that for prowess, which would be like fist fight attacks.
Mm-hmm.
That also works for coordination attacks, so that'd be using it like if you're using your webbing.
Okay.
Or, if you're using a gun or throwing stuff or whatever.
Yes.
What is your coordination, by the way?
My coordination is 4.
Okay, that'd still come out, I believe that would still come out to just 1 extra attack then.
Yes, sir.
And let's see, was that all yours?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see, and that was... Alright, that was everybody.
Does coordination determine your number of attacks?
Only as it factors into the fast attack power.
Okay.
Baseline, you just get one in the round. All right. Does anybody have any questions up to this point, or anything else about the character?
I figured out what I want to do with my super senses, and I just want to run it by you, make sure it's okay.
Okay.
I have a level 5 in the super senses. So for one, I'm just giving myself a +1 hearing, so basically a +1 to awareness rolls where hearing is involved.
Okay.
+1 for extended vision, so I see things farther away, like they're closer.
Mm-hmm.
The other three, I wanted to give myself a night vision, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but sort of like an animal. Maybe like I would see things in green if the lights are out, so I would still kind of like I'm wearing night vision goggles.
Okay, I got you.
And then I wanted to also have like high frequency hearing, like I could hear like something that's like at a dog whistle type level that normal people wouldn't hear, but I would hear it. So like I might hear radio frequencies. I wouldn't know what they're saying, but I'd hear them.
You'd hear it as static or a squeal or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I could hear it at something at a level that other people couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one, because I saw under the super senses, it said you could also pick a detection uh, as a bonus. So I wanted to have like, because in the honor of my energy draining power, maybe I can like detect changes in the force, so to speak, or the life forces around me. Maybe have a shot at detecting energy imbalances, or so I don't know what that would end up being, but something like that. Like if someone was possessed or something, or someone's life force was being drained by someone else, I might pick up on that, or being controlled.
Mark that down as sense life.
Okay, sense life. All right.
So if somebody had like a psychic parasite, somebody was possessing them,
Yeah.
you might detect that there's two life sources there.
There's two lives, so that something is odd.
Yeah.
If I've drained that person before, or I've contacted them before, I might go, hey, they're feeling a little different now. They're tasting different,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
something to that effect. All
Now
right.
it also means you might occasionally think pregnant women are possessed, but
Right.
you gotta take the good with the bad.
I wouldn't energy drain pregnant women.
Jason, what was the name of that extra that lets you change into an alternate form without it taking a whole turn?
I don't remember if it had a specific name or if it just said you could do it as an extra. Let me find it. All right. Alternate form. As an extra, you can assume your alternate form without preparation. Just call it instant change or something, just so you know what it is.
Okay.
What are you stacking to take that?
Magic.
Okay. Anybody else?
And it gives me a +1 to my strength since my strength is higher. I take it.
Yes. When you transform, you get a +1 to your strength.
Okay.
Let me see. Okay. Has everybody got their attributes sorted out like they want them?
Yes.
Yes.
I do.
I'm gonna swap my intellect and strength
Okay. That's
just
fine.
for the.
Not your coordination? Because it'll increase the amount of fast attacks you can do.
No, that's the prowess.
My bad. You're fine.
Well, the coordination would be for like ranged attacks, but
Yeah.
Did
But
the
it sounds like-
specialties have ranks?
yes, 1 to 3.
We haven't rolled those yet.
No, you don't roll those. You just if you take a specialty, you've got 1 rank in it. If you take that specialty again, then you'd have 2 ranks in it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And if you've got all 3 ranks in it, you've basically mastered it. Then you can use that skill for power stunts and stuff.
I thought I had 3, right? And I didn't choose one.
Yeah, you haven't chosen a third.
So once you get your stats like you want, add your strength and your willpower, and that will be your stamina. Like I see on Todd's sheet, he's already done that. He's got his starting stamina at 12. It would become 13 when you transformed.
Okay.
That strength and willpower?
Yes.
What would power be? Sir, what would the power specialty cover exactly?
It helps you with some use of your power. For example, if you took power, swinging, then if you tried to grab a weapon out of somebody's hand, you get a +1 to that. If you were trying to do some kind of maneuver while swinging, you get a +1 to that. Basically, anything that involves having to make a roll with that power, it would give you a bonus.
All right.
So if you had something like if Anna took power, the power especially on her absorption, but she'd get a bump when she tried to blast things with it, with her absorbed energy.
I think I'm going to do that for my third power. Or specialty, sorry.
Okay. And now you can choose to take limits on your powers in order to purchase additional extras. So like some of your standard limits are performance, where you need to perform in some fashion to use a power. Like the magic power comes with that. You have to do incantations or perform a spell in some way, a chant, something. Billy Batson in the Captain Marvel book, he has to yell Shazam's name to change, that sort of thing. Preparation is what Gadgets had, basically, where it takes you a page to activate the ability. Source would be like if you were a fire manipulator that couldn't generate fire, but could mess around with fire already present. It's a temporary, causes it to fade. Tiring causes you to lose stamina after you use it. Uncontrolled means sometimes it won't work.
I'm going to slap temporary onto a dimensional travel.
Okay, so you can't stay in these other dimensions for very long, but
we're able to add multiple limits to powers, yes?
Yes, there's no rule against that. Try to keep it reasonable because you do want the power to still be usable.
Yeah.
Let's see, unstable. Let's see, unpredictable means when you try to use it, you make a roll.
Part of me still wants to use the other.
And it may not work. Unstable means it may go off without you intending to.
Life support.
I mean, that's something intrinsic to my life.
You've got one called degrades, where your power loses a level every round that you're using it. And then, you recover it between chapters, basically, as you've rested.
Maybe if I kept made more of the psychic type. Instead of doing the full android thing, like.
So, do you want to...
No.
Okay. Never mind
then.
So is anyone interested in assigning other limits to any of their abilities? Oh, there are also some standard extras as opposed to just the ones listed for specific abilities. Affect other. If you take that, an ability that usually only works on you, you can use it on other people. For example, if you had life support with affect other, you could reach out and touch somebody, and then they've got life support.
Oh, you have to be touching them?
If you take that extra, it's for abilities that don't usually affect anybody but yourself. Let's see. Effect X, your power works on a type of target normally, immune to such. So you could take that on a fire character if you wanted to burn people that were usually immune to fire. So like Ghost Riders, Hellfire or something.
So if I put that on my affects others on my life support, I would still have it. It's just the way I read it, I would basically use the ability to use that. I forget what it's called. There's too many windows open.
Now, life support standard, I believe, just affects you. If you put the affects others on it, then you could share that life support. Maybe you're putting force shield bubbles or something. Okay.
And it has to be by touch.
Let's see. You can affect other people with the power, not just yourself. Well, it doesn't specifically say. Let me look over here at others only. See if it fleshes it out better. I would say you'd have to touch them to initiate it, but not to maintain it.
Okay.
Let's see. Broadcast. Your normal visual range powers can affect anyone who sees or hears you. In person or on television or radio, giving you a much wider range. Burst. Your power affects everyone within a close distance simultaneously. So you put that on a blast, you basically have an exploding blast or something. Okay. Contagious effect. Passenger's range. Rangeless reversible. Secondary effect. Slow recovery. Now, are you sacking a power to buy this extra, or putting a limit on something else?
Let me look at the Zach, where's the limits of it? I don't know where you scrolled.
Further down. There you go.
I want to put max only on my leaping. Because it'll be hilarious.
Yeah. Now understand that's gonna cut down on the usefulness of the ability. It'll be great for getting across town, but you won't be able to use it in combat. You wouldn't be able to leap just across the street.
Okay, how about, what do you think about line of sight, Zach?
For
My absorption.
So you have to see the attack coming for you to actually be able to absorb it?
Is that how that would work?
Yes.
Let's do that instead.
Okay, so the line of sight. Okay, so it's essentially you have to brace for it basically.
Yes.
So if somebody's sneak attacking you, you wouldn't be able to absorb that. Okay, let me find starting determination.
Add a binding extra to my swinging.
Okay.
So it's pretty much just Spider-Man's web shooters at this point.
It's what the dice decreed.
Pretty much.
All right, now for your starting determination, you start with 6, -1 for each power you have and each attribute you have that is higher than 6.
So for every power that is 7 and above,
For every power
or
period.
attribute that is
Right.
attribute that is 7 or above, that
Correct.
counts as a superhuman ability.
I believe extras also count as powers. Let me see here.
What did it say again? It added a +1, 2.
You don't count against your specialties though. For starting determination. You don't count for specialties, so it's starting determination. Okay.
And it was every attribute you had over 6.
Yeah, any of you have over 6, so 7 or higher, that counts as a power. Powers count as powers, and extras count as powers. However, limits will counteract. So you've got 1 limit and 1 extra, then you're even, Steven.
Yep, have a determination of 1.
That's going to be a lot of heroes if you've got any kind of decent power. A character like Captain America really only has the damage resistance, in the shield. So he'd start off with quite a bit more determination. But those are points he can use in game to compensate for the fact that he doesn't have as many actual powers or as high stats.
Like I said, I'm really strong and I'm really aware.
Well, at least you're not the dumb fighter then. Well,
Oh,
you're
his
not.
intellect's only a 3.
I take that back.
He's
You're not.
He's not super bright.
You're not an oblivious.
Yeah, I just know what's going on around me.
Yes, you are. You just don't realize those guys in ski masks are bank robbers until they start shooting people.
They might just be cold. I don't know how that stuff works.
Sure, it's May, but I don't feel temperature, so I don't know if it's cold or not.
Sorry.
They have a grand total of 1 determination myself, and Anna has 3.
Let's see. Where was Anna? Could be 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, none of her stats are actually above 6. So yeah, she's got 3 powers, 1 extra, but a limitation that counters that one. Now, you can also buy extras with determination points.
That sounds nice.
It does.
But it is nice to have a whole bunch of, little extra bits to throw in there sometimes when you need it.
So has everybody got that figured out? 3, 4, 5.
Yes, sir.
All right.
We do at least.
Yep.
Sean, how about you?
Not quite. Still good. Let's see.
No rush. I'm just asking.
Yeah, I just got to calculate my determination. Now, yeah, I'm not going to put any limits on anything.
Okay. Let's see. So you had 3 powers, 2 attributes over 6.
I had 4 actually, but then I threw away one of them for a bonus. Yeah.
Okay. Looks like you're in Todd's boat probably with the minimum of 1. Got Twitch pulled on my laptop, and I do believe my laptop is trying to die on me.
Wow. So you actually got Twitch to work?
Yeah, Twitch seems to be working. It has split my screen where my left side of my screen is on the right side and vice versa. And all the color is wrong. I don't know what's going on with it. Oh well. It's hardly the only technical issue we've dealt with today. But yeah, according to that, Twitch is up and running. Alright, so we've got that done. Now we move on to aspects. Or qualities, I think they're called in this version.
Yeah, I was about to say, what are you talking about?
Alright. Well, technically, phase 5 would be the description. So basically, we'll start off with Todd. How would you describe your character? What is your concept for your character at this point?
Cruel twist of fate right now. I don't know, I see him occupying a brick roll just because that's kind of where that fit. Transformed, that means he likely had some kind of accident, but I haven't put that much thought into it.
Well, we just rolled him up, so. What are you
Like
picturing visually looking like?
See, right now I'm still bouncing back and forth between, do I want him to look monstrous or do I want him not to necessarily look like a brick when he does that? It's just he's made out of something weird. So, like I said, right now I'm not super sure even how I want him to look. I could go classic Rocky kind of the thing, but he could just as easily be metal. I could make him quartz. I could make him all kinds of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be a visual cue that something's weird either.
That's true.
And even when don't have that turned on, you're still freakishly strong.
Yeah, he's got an 8 strength anyway,
so it's really more that
kind of on the beefy side anyway.
But that also gives you your alternate form gives you damage resistance. So it's almost like you're strong and then you armor up.
Yeah. Well, it's old school Colossus. Remember, Peter was big even when he's human.
That's true.
You're still talking about somebody that was, 6'8", 6'9", and then his armored form was 7 something. He just got a little bigger in metal.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know yet.
Well, let's move on to Zach. I think Zach had a pretty solid concept already.
With the information, I would actually like to slap an extra limit of dimensional travel to only dark corners to add wall crawling, the swinging ability. And basically, because of that, the concept I've kind of brewed up in my head from actually Todd's suggestion of tying into a Nancy
Mm-hmm.
is that this was someone, whenever their powers first kicked in as a very, very young child, was sucked into a conceptual plane. The
Okay, got
plane
you.
of arachnids and insects and the things that crawl in the dark and just out of sight.
Okay.
And the eldritch forces that lived there basically saw this weird little bipedal hominid and took pity on it and said, "We'll fix you." And now this person actually does look like some sort of horrible bug man.
So you look like a freak of nature.
Kinda, yeah.
You're going to be very popular with the public. If you go that route, put some thought into how you get by in your day-to-day life, though.
Yeah, that's honestly, I'm seeing this as someone who probably does live in the alleys and the sewers, just trying to avoid someone screaming and pulling a gun at the monster.
All right. You get to be the misunderstood monster. Now, you're a birthright, which means your abilities are something that come from. Well, there's something you were born with, essentially.
Now, specifically, what it said is the extra power I could choose. That was intrinsic to me. So the way I'm picturing it is, my only naturally occurring power would have been the dimensional travel, and the additional abilities I have were part of the blessing from the bug gods, essentially.
Okay, that is perfectly acceptable.
Thanks, sir.
So either you were a mutant or perhaps descended from some mythological type something that could dimensional travel. And your character wouldn't necessarily know, or it's not something you actually got to decide on.
And
It
we
kind
have
of
three
reminds.
qualities, correct?
Yes. Are you familiar with magic from the X-Men books?
Matt,
Well,
oh my
New
gosh,
Mutant specifically.
it's not too far away from magic, is it?
Yeah, from her origin.
Huh.
Just you didn't
Well,
get taught magic. You got mucked with.
Hopefully, I still have a soul, though.
She's got a sword, a soul. She stabs people with it. All right, and you two, yeah, you two play Fate, so y'all are familiar with how the qualities work.
Yes, sir.
All right, Anna, what have you got character concept wise?
I don't know. Are you familiar with the Mass Effect franchise?
Somewhat. I played a little bit of the first,
Uh,
or I played a decent bit of the first one and a little bit of the second one.
Okay. Edie was in the third one, wasn't she?
Second and third. Third is the one where she got her body.
Okay. I am thinking of a character kind of like the ME3 Edie. It's an AI with a artificial body.
Okay. So you started off, basically your character started off as just an AI, and has since
Yes.
acquired itself a body. Well, that might explain the awareness. Everything's just so
Yes.
new. There's so much to pay attention to that you don't really pay attention to anything.
I'm just browsing Facebook and YouTube. This stuff's going on around me.
Now, were you constructed by a random mad scientist? Is there a corporation involved? Are you an alien AI that has become stranded on the planet?
I haven't really got that far into it. Just
That's fine.
but honestly, I'm kind of liking the way the alien AI sounds. But then I still kind of want a humanoid type looking body.
You could be the AI of a crashed ship that has basically stripped the ship out of all of its resources, but managed to build you this body.
Okay.
You've managed to make yourself mobile, but you don't have access to You don't have access to a huge store of alien technology or anything.
Yeah.
But that also means if you run into if the team runs into aliens, you may get to make an intellect roll to see if you know anything about them.
Okay.
Okay, Jason. I think I'm gonna be the product of a super soldier experiment.
Okay.
That will work. That will explain the martial arts. Yeah, I can play around with that. So.
Okay. And Sean, you had already said something about a scientist.
Yeah. I think basically I was a scientist who got involved some horrible lab accident, or perhaps on purpose by somebody. I'll have to work that out. But basically, like a clay face kind of a thing. My whole body got wrecked at like a cellular level. So I now have the energy draining ability, and I haven't decided yet. I may want to actually put a limit on it or something, where like I have to drain or something. I have to feed a killer frost type limitation or something.
Okay.
But
You don't necessarily have to. You don't necessarily have to kill people. You just have to drain at least a little bit every day.
exactly, I just have to drain a little bit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just have like a taste for it.
It's kind of a dependency.
So, yeah. So the gist of it is, yeah, I've got the stretching ability, and the way as far as the public is concerned, they basically see me as a goofy plastic man type. They see my stretching ability. I make little animal balloons out of my hand, and things like that. Entertain the kids. I don't wear a mask, but my face, I had used my plastic ability or my stretching ability to change my face just a little bit, so it doesn't really look like what I look like.
Okay, good.
So I have a secret identity, but as far as the public knows, I'm just this goofy, stretchy guy, and I'm Mr. Friendly Superhero. But secretively, I'm a little bit darker than that. I'm still a good guy, but I've got my issues.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Now, you all read the little background I wrote up on how how the people in the setting view superheroes, right?
No.
Okay, that's right, because you're not in the Icons group on Facebook. All right. The government has never okayed superheroes. You are still vigilantes. So you won't be palling around with the cops in public. You will drop down, take care of a problem, and as the cops are showing up, vamoose.
Okay.
Having said that, the government has never come up with a good way to deal with villains. So as long as heroes don't cross the line, the government doesn't spend a lot of time looking for you. But if somebody goes Punisher, then the government, then there'll be a manhunt. The feds don't really have any hard, fast rules. They let individual counties and cities kind of determine how friendly or unfriendly they're going to be. In the city of Manfred, where the campaign is set, they've always been relatively friendly to their heroes, as long as you kind of stick to, the typical code against killing, friendly heroes.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
you may have buddies that are police. Like if anybody's been watching Black Lightning, he can call the inspector up and talk to him, but he ain't showing up at the station to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
And the inspector don't necessarily trust him 100%. So it's also like the early days of Superman. If you go back and look at some of the early 40s Superman books or the late 30s ones, yeah, he would stop. He'd stop a criminal or whatever, but then the police might be shooting at him as he jumped away because he's still a vigilante.
Yeah.
Unless it's the 1950s show. He always had friends. Inspector Henderson was his buddy.
By the time you got to the 50s, yeah, he was just kind of accepted.
Yeah.
But the general public, superheroes are currently fairly popular with the general public. Your popularity will vary depending on, how well you do, how you act in public. Freaky Spider Guy is going to scare people. You're going to have initial bad reactions. You could easily wind it with your own J. Jonah Jameson. Because you look like a freak, it makes you an easy target for people that are anti-super. So, secret identity is highly recommended.
which is kind of the reason why I said, yeah, an alternate form. Yeah, I'll look like quartz or something I will not look like
Hmm.
me.
And you guys in the next 2 weeks before we meet again, you can write up your backstory more fully. Whew, I thought we might get a short scenario in today, but I don't think we're gonna make it by 4.
Nope.
We're sorry about that.
Oh, it's no problem. It's no problem. Once we got up and going, everything has gone pretty smooth. It was just that initial hiccup. Truthfully, I should have scheduled this first one for like a half hour earlier, so we could have had some stuff, so we could have made sure everything was sorted out before we started streaming at 1. But yeah, I'm new at this. I ain't gonna worry about it too much. We'll figure it out as we go along.
Yeah, and I ended up watching too much of Lost in Space. Sorry.
A couple of guys at work said that was pretty good.
It starts off slow, but yeah, it's kind of screwed up. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So, do they explain why the new design for the robot is more human, despite apparently being alien in design?
Depends on whether you want to know or not.
No spoilers.
Because, yeah,
True.
that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
It's
me.
something-
Shame on you, Zach.
Yeah, that the robot is something you're probably gonna want to watch. Yeah, Netflix really douches up Dr. Smith quite a bit too.
Which is bad because
Dr. Smith.
even in the original,
Even
This-
yeah,
In
but
the original, he was a
somebody
dude who
that-
hid behind a small child at the first sign of danger.
yeah. Well,
as a child watching reruns of the original, I wanted them to leave him on a planet so bad.
well, this new one is worse.
Oh God.
Yes.
Yeah, she cranks up the oh God, why? Yeah, they need to drop her into the sun as quickly as possible.
Stand in this airlock and don't leave.
Yeah, she needs the plucky sidekick treatment. Stand right here. Don't move. Don't put on a suit. Stay and protect right here. And then, blast
Vent it.
out the airlock. Yeah, and then vent it. Yeah.
All right, so let's get qualities done right quick before we wrap up for the day.
Okay.
Now, our 2 players that play Fate, this is a standard part of Fate. It's a little bit odder if you come from kind of a strictly like D&D face rip background.
So basically me.
Yes, and me. One of the reasons I didn't run just a straight Fate superhero game is the fact that I'm not. I've played a little bit of Fate, played some Dresden, but I'm not super comfortable with some of the rules.
It is an interesting engine to use, but honestly, just going over looking at icons, I really, really do like it, and it's probably one of the better superhero games I've seen. So you made the right choice.
Well, I also figured because there's a series of novels called Wearing the Cape that the writer did a Fate-based RPG of recently.
Really?
That I'd be really interested in running that, but some of the rules, some of the concepts for Fate, I don't really have them down yet, and I thought icons would be a good middle ground to kind of wean me into it. But anyway, qualities. You choose 3 qualities for your hero. You activate these qualities in play to gain advantage or to cause trouble for a hero. Let's see. Let me get over to the basics. And a quality is it's really fairly descriptive. For example, Batman might have World's Greatest Detective. So you could burn a determination point, basically tap on the World's Greatest Detective and give yourself a +2 on an investigation roll or to pick out a particular clue. You could have the best qualities are ones that have a positive and a negative aspect to them, because in play I could tap it and give you a disadvantage. It'd make something harder for you, but you would gain a determination point. It's one of the ways you get determination points in in play.
So if I picked unstoppable, that might be great as far as breaking through a barricade. But if I get launched out of an airlock, that's gonna suck.
Quite possibly. Or I could have you where you smash through a wall, and then I might tap it, and like, okay, there's a wall, and then there's a pit. Well, when you make your coordination roll not to fall into the pit, I tap it and I make that check, rougher.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
When I tap one like that, you can choose to spend a determination point to cancel it out. But that means you've spent one of your points, and you don't get a point, for it being used against you.
Okay.
Qualities. All right, let's see. I just read how to activate qualities.
So we get a list.
No, there's a few examples, but and a lot of this, you'll fiddle with them as you come up with your background. Like you might take super soldier as one, or whatever. But like the example, because I'm the world's greatest detective.
If you Google like Google like Fate RPG aspects, you'll find like a gazillion examples of the kind of thing.
Oh, that's actually a good idea, yeah. But let's see. And as players, if you can figure out a quality that a villain has, you could tap that to give them disadvantage. So if you've got an arch enemy that has sworn to destroy you, you could tap that when making a taunt to try to get them to like charge you if you've set up a trap or.
Or get them to spend 20 minutes telling you their entire plan instead of just killing you, bragging.
I know Doctor Doom has monologuing. I will tap monologuing. As I make my manipulation check to try to get him monologuing to buy me some time. Let's see. But the basic types fall down into let's see. Well, that's tactics free. Okay. I thought there was a list of. Oh well. Let me see if I can pull up. Well, I've got some. We'll pull up Agent Carr. All right. Does everybody see Agent Carr's character sheet now?
I see a token.
Yes.
Click. It should above the token. It should say Battle Info. Click on character sheet, and it'll tab over.
There's no other tabs.
Nope.
Really?
There isn't anything else. No.
All right. Hang on a second.
There we go.
All right. I had to make it where you could all manipulate the sheet. Please don't manipulate the sheet.
We got
Alright,
the character sheet.
Yeah, just click on character sheet, and you'll see his name is Agent Carr, his origin is trained, he's got 3 determination, yada yada yada. Down on his aspects, and he is a government agent. You'll run into him eventually. Hopefully you'll have forgotten his stats by then. But his qualities are tricky. He is clever. He doesn't mind, He doesn't mind doing things slightly underhanded to get the job done. He's crafty. But everybody gets a fair shake. He's fair-minded. He's a good guy. And, before becoming an agent, a government agent, he was a police officer. He still has some of the police mentality, protect and serve.
Yeah.
So he could tap that. If he's doing something to try to save somebody, he could tap protect and serve to give himself a bonus. He spends a point, he taps that. He gives himself an advantage, he gets a +2 on the roll. everybody gets a fair shake. If he's after you because you've been framed for something, and he's got that, as you're trying to convince him of your innocence, you could tap that and
actually interact with
and get a bonus.
like never do it.
How many of these do we have?
You pick 3,
Okay.
and you can gain them and lose them as you play. There are also maneuvers and tactics you can use in combat to temporarily assign one to people. For example, if you did a ground pound to knock people off balance, there's a contested roll, and if you succeed, they now have the off balance quality that everybody can tap, to get advantage against them. Like I said, this is the one part of icons that takes a little more looking at if you're not already familiar with the mechanic. All right. Let me take all y'all off of here now, so you no longer get to see Agent Carr.
Oh, but I wanted to vandalize it.
I know you did.
Screenshot yet.
I know, and that's why I did it.
I already messed it up.
What are offensive subroutines?
Something where she can
Pretty much just draw from what's left of the databanks from the databanks from the ship she came from to basically replicate.
Kind of a tactic strategy is analyze the situation kind of thing. Okay. It's not that she's been on the internet and the internet has turned her into a Nazi like some of the AIs.
No.
Okay. Just checking.
And like give her kind of a hacking ability, I guess.
I mean, the ETA, I think.
Oh yeah, that covers that too. I guess.
Either one of those could probably be tapped for that to give you advantage on computers or technology. Now, what is the ETA?
Just extraterrestrial artificial intelligence.
Oh, okay, that should have been obvious. And distracted by the internet.
Aren't we all?
Oh, I totally see you as your AI being based, or your body being based off, your stereotypical millennial, facing your phone all the time, which explains the awareness.
Yes.
All right, let's see, where is Zach? What does Zach got? Misunderstood monster. That's pretty basic. Blessed by the crawling gods. Justice for the forgotten. So to some degree, be like a protector of the homeless, or
In essence, the downtrodden, the beaten.
Mm-hmm. If this city had like the Morlocks out of the X-Men, you'd probably be right in there with them.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I'm not saying that we'll have people living in Manford sewers, but
You're not saying we're not gonna have that.
Exactly. A lot of mutants in the setting don't really have usable powers. It's just physical mutation.
which is something I really like.
So you have the whole kind of oppressed minority thing going on, even though the government isn't rounding people up in camps or anything like that. I think I put it in that little write-up I did. But lots of corporations of a less ethnical bend are perfectly happy to experiment on or fiddle with in an attempt to find out how a mutation works. Because if you could create whatever kind of mutation you wanted, then you could crank out super soldiers. You could make all kinds of money. And the feds, by and large, just kind of turn a blind eye to it. Until it just gets kind of blatant.
Just like in real life.
Maybe sort of, kind of. But if y'all guys ran in and busted up a mutant trafficking ring, yeah, the cops are gonna show up and arrest everybody. People will be, put on trial and all. But it usually takes somebody's outside interference to get the ball rolling. Let's see, and Sean, is Putty the name you're going with?
For now, yeah. Until I come up with something better.
Professor Putty.
Yeah. Professor Putty, I like that, actually.
Then all the villains can mock you by calling you Pee-Pee.
Ooh.
And you have got Weight of the World.
Yeah, I feel responsible for everything that happens, and I take it as a personal burden, and it's my job to fix it, even things I can't possibly fix or didn't cause in any way.
So you've talked about acting kind of goofy and friendly in public. It's almost like you're got the whole sad clown thing going on.
Exactly. So yeah, exactly. Smiling on the outside, crying on the inside.
And Todd has got Super Soldier, Unstoppable, Sucker for a Pretty Face. Well, I can certainly think of ways to use that.
And his willpower is not very high. So, yeah.
A 4 is not bad. You're talking about, I think 2 is average human. Yeah, keep in mind it's only a 1 to 10 scale, so 4 is not horrible. It's a 1 to 10 scale, and very few things ever get up to 10.
So a 5 intellect isn't actually that bad for a scientist?
No, because 6 is max human.
Okay.
You're not super intelligent, but you are quite intelligent.
Right.
6 would be like real world genius.
All right, so 6 would be the Einstein or the Edison.
Yeah. So 5 would be, kind of your typical scientist, I guess you'd say. In the real world, you'd be perfectly fine. In a comic book world, you're not as impressive as some, but.
I mean, have you even made a genetic recombinator over lunch?
Nah. Took me like a month.
So like Todd's intelligence of 3 is kind of in the, probably the brighter side of average. So, nobody here is stupid. All right, well, it is after 4. So I guess your homework assignments would be to, come up with your backgrounds, flesh out your qualities if you're not done with those. I think Sean has still got to pick out his specialties.
Yeah, I got to pick up my specialties and maybe add another quality or 2.
Yeah, you need at least 3 qualities. Because you want plenty of things that you can tap into to give yourself advantage, and you want things for me to hinder you with, so you can
Right.
gain determination points.
Right. Will do.
Alrighty then. Well, thank y'all for coming. I know we had some hiccups early on, but I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, I look forward to playing.
Once everything got going, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Once we got over the little hiccups, we were fine. I don't know how many people we actually had watching us on Twitch. There's somebody on there.
They hit the wrong button.
A very lonely person.
Hey, can you put a link to that?
Oh, we actually got asked a question.
What?
Oops.
Will you be playing with Nax from the A to Z book? Yes, I will be bringing in Nax from the A to Z book as they in play as they improve. I will give them access to Nax. And what a knack is when you give yourself advantage, there's a variety of things you can do with that. I mentioned the +2, but you can also do things like swap what attribute or power you use for a particular test. One character I played had a magic suit of armor. It could teleport. I had the knack where I used my teleportation as my defense attribute. So it's kind of like night crawling in a fight. People would throw punches, and I would teleport out of the way. Not out of combat, not away from them, just on the other side of their fist kind of thing.
Yeah.
Nax cost a determination point. As you progress, you don't really have experience points in this, but you can build up to like buying extra determination points. It's basically kind of milestone based. We'll go into that probably at the end of the next session after we've actually played and you have one to play with. But I guess that about wraps us up for today. Anybody got any questions before we go?
Not yet. And we play this again 2 weeks from now.
In 2 weeks.
So,
Okay.
29th?
I don't have my calendar on me, but that
Yep.
sounds right.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Avengers week. Yeah, it sounds like it'll be Avengers weekend.
Okay.
Okay.
So, same time, same Twitch station.
All right.
Yeah. Well, thank everybody for coming. I look forward to seeing y'all next time.
Take it easy.
Our one viewer on Twitch, thank you for showing up. Hopefully next time you'll actually get to see us game.
All right.
And we will see y'all later.
Good night.
Bye.